Hi, good afternoon, everyone. This is Coach Sammy Tan, and welcome to another session, good to great session. No, today we will talk about how to build your confidence, especially now with so many challenges. No, our seminar is brought to you by G2G8, which stands for Good to Great. No, your life may be good, but it can be great. We are an organization, no, that wants to educate people, no, that there are things that you can still do to improve your life. And today yung talk natin, no, may seek to uplift your feeling, but we will be very honest to the point that it might offend you. Kaya diretsahan tayo dito, no, because we don't have time to go around the bush. Anyway, this is the main problem, most of the problem that people have, no, needing to be liked and accepted is what's keeping you stuck. Whatever problem you have, anuman problema mo, usually ito yung root ng problem mo, no? And most people wants to fit in, that is why they are following the crowd and getting the same result. Nag-aantayan, tinginan, no? So tinitingnan yung kaibigan nila, anong gagawin mo? Pag ito yung ginawa niya, gagawin mo rin. Magpa-injection siya, magpa-injection ka rin. So without knowing what you're doing, basta sama-sama tayo, alangan naman magkamali yung crowd, no? That's how people think. Now, many people today are confident of these few things, no? One is they are confident that people in authority knows what they are doing. They are confident that they are looking after their best interests. They're confident that someone or a group in your life has your back and that you will be able to overcome any challenges that comes your way dahil nga you have this group backing you up, or you believe that the government will help you, or people in authority are looking after your interests. Well, you might be in for a rude awakening. May isang tanong dito, do you really know what you know? No? Alam mo ba talaga yung alam mo? Okay, may kasabihan tayo, a little knowledge is a dangerous thing. It only hastens fools to rush in where angels fear to tread, sabi ni Samuel Johnson, no? And he's a former president ng US. Totoo nga, a little knowledge is a dangerous thing. And today we will show you yung connection ng little knowledge, no, later on. This is the Dunning-Kruger effect. I don't know if you've heard of Dunning-Kruger. Si Dunning at si Kruger are social psychologists. What started their experiment, no, or study, no, is when they heard a story about isang robber, no, and this is a true story, nabasa nila sa newspaper. And itong magnanakaw pumasok sa bangko at nagnakaw, and then nahuli siya kasi nga yung mukha niya nasa CCTV. Yung nahuli siya, hindi siya makapaniwala. Sabi niya, hindi ako yan. Bakit hindi siya makapaniwala? Kasi naniniwala siya na invisible siya. Bakit siya naniniwala na invisible siya? Kasi nakita niya sa YouTube kung paano gumawa ng invisible ink. Now, kung nanood kayo ng YouTube, ang paggawa ng invisible ink ay napakasimple, lemon juice lamang, no? So yung ink, imbis na tinta, ang ginamit niya lemon juice. Tapos yung lemon juice, pag sinulat mo sa papel, invisible siya. Pero kung tinutukan mo ng malakas na light o ininit mo ng posporo, lumalabas yung o lumilitaw yung sinulat mo. Kaya nga invisible ink siya. So sabi niya, alam ko ng gagawin ko, magiging invisible ako. And this is a true story. Binasbas niya yung buong katawan niya with lemon juice. Tapos pumasok siya sa bangko. And thinking hindi siya mahuli. But nahuli siya kasi nasa CCTV siya eh. Pero yung pinakita yung CCTV sa kanya, ayaw niya maniwala na siya yun. Sabi nila, planted to, hindi ako yan. Ibang actor yan. Okay? Because naniniwala pa rin siya na napakalakas ng kumpiyansa niya na invisible siya. So si Dunning at si Kruger gumawa ng eksperimento. Sabi nila, bakit nga ba itong tao na ito na may konting kaalaman, napaka-confident sa kaalaman niya to the point na isusugal na yung buhay niya, no, doon sa kaalaman niya. So gumawa sila ng mga eksperimento, and true enough, pinag-rate nila yung mga tao katulad ng mga driver, no, mga 3 to 5 years driving, no. They asked them to rate ang kanilang driving skill. Karamihan ng mga nag-rate na mga 3 to 5 years, ni-rate nila nasa upper 95 percentile sila. Napakagaling nila mag-drive. Ni-rate nila yung mga professional driver, mga racer, ganon. At ang nakakatuwa, itong mga racer, ni-rate nila ang sarili nila mas mababa. Okay? And ano yung dahilan? Itong mga 3 to 5 years na konti lang na nalalaman at walang na-encounter na mga professional driver, akala nila napakagaling nila mag-drive, no? Kaya mataas ang rating nila. And ito naman yung mga professional, dahil yung mga kaibigan nila professional din, may kilala sila na mas magaling sa kanila, kaya ni-rate nila yung sarili nila mas mababa. Ito yung reality in life sa totoo lang. Karamihan ng tao, and in every walk of life, in every aspect of life, this Dunning-Kruger effect na-apply to. Like for example, no, yung first time nyo siguro makahawak ng magandang camera. Ngayon digital na, pero when I was young, yung camera namin is 35mm, no? At kailangan may mga flash, may mga gadget, ang laki-laki ng camera. And pinag-aralan ko talaga yung aperture, yung mga setting, no, yung speed setting, yung mga ganon. And until I was able to get good photography. At that time, akala mo being an amateur photographer, ang galing-galing mo na. Not until you meet a professional photographer. And then yung mga picture niya, pag kinumpara mo sa picture mo, then ang layo mo. Doon mo marirealize na ang dami mo pang dapat kainin na kanin, no? That's what happened to most of us. Examples of Dunning-Kruger effect is one when people change religion. Ito siguro madalas yung ma-encounter, no? Yung from Catholicism, naging Protestant, and reading the Bible for 1 year, naging expert na. So, lahat ng kaibigan niyang Catholic, pinagsasabihan na mali ito, sabi sa Biblia, gano'n. So, nakaka-turn off, but ito yung nangyayari, di ba? Na-encounter nyo rin to. How about yung when people learn a little bit about health and eating healthy, no? Mga organic food, mga 1 year doing that, no, naging expert na sa pagkain. So, when you go out with them at kumakain kayo, pinagbabawalan yung mga pagkain sa iyo, ay huwag mo kainin yan, kakasakit ka, gano'n. So, sobra sa cholesterol, sobrang alat, gano'n. So, hindi ka na nakaka-enjoy sa pagkain mo. Okay? And how about yung people who knows a little bit will call your dissenting opinion today as a conspiracy theory. Madalas yung siguro makita sa Facebook ngayon, no? At yung mga tumatawag ng conspiracy theory ay hindi eksperto. Ito yung mga tao na may alam na konti, pero hindi nila alam paano sagutin ka, so tatawagin kang conspiracy theorist. We see this happening every time, every day. And ito, another aspect, when people just join or will not join network marketing. Yan. 1 year lang siya sa network marketing. The next time you meet them, wala nang pinag-usapan kundi yung kumpanya niya, yung produkto niya. Every time you meet them, yung kumpanya niya, yung produkto niya. So, naka-turn off. Or ayaw niya mag-join ng network marketing dahil sabi nila, pyramid scam daw yon. Lolokohin ka lang. Itong klaseng tao na ito, akala mo napakagaling. They will tell you so many reasons na hindi naman totoo because they never join network marketing, no? So, these are examples of Dunning-Kruger effect. And ito yung dahilan kung bakit ang gulo ng mundo ngayon, kasi ang daming eksperto eh. A lot of people knows a little bit and akala nila expert na sila. Okay? The problem is not lack of competence or even confidence. The problem is confidence without competence. Marami kasi ngayon na may tinatawag na self-help na tinuturuan tayo na magkaroon ng self-esteem. Yung self-esteem na hindi nakatali sa competence, so lumalaki ang ulo ng tao na hindi nila alam kung ano yung sinasabi nila. Now, how do we know they lack competence, no? May mga sign. One is their life problem and income is average. Pareho sa kaibigan nila. Or you could say kung ano yung nangyayari sa buong mundo, sa masa, parehong problema nila. They are comfortable in their comfort zone. Pag lahat nanonood ng TikTok, sila rin. Pag lahat nanonood ng Netflix, sila rin. Walang time para magbasa ng libro o mag-join ng events kasi sobrang busy sa Netflix, TikTok, saka Facebook. They are so afraid to offend people around them. Yan. So lahat ng ginagawa nila pareho sa mga kaibigan nila. They don't know that they don't know. Ito yung masaklap, no? And the reason they don't know is they are not asking the right question. So pag hindi mo alam kasi hindi ka marunong magtanong, no? You won't ask the right question kasi hindi mo alam na meron ng ganun eh. Meron akong papakita sa inyo how to build self-esteem by Dan Peña. Dan Peña is a billionaire. Pero he's a straight talker, no? Hindi siya diplomatic kung magsalita, pero billionaire siya. Let's see how we can build self-esteem with Dan Peña.
If we would like to improve the quality of our lives, personally and professionally, what would be your advice? What can we do? What is most important?
Well, the most important thing is self-esteem. The people that we read about, the people that we admire, the Elon Musks, the Steve Jobs, the Warren Buffetts, etc., all have one thing in common. They have extremely high self-esteem. And, of course, you've heard me say this before, self-esteem is built the first 7 or 8 years of life. And unfortunately, we're with our parents the first 7 or 8 years of life. Ergo, we don't have too much high self-esteem. But to build high self-esteem, and the way you build high self-esteem, if you're 25, 35, or 45, is to be around, surround yourself with other people that have high self-esteem. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. And so you can reverse your childhood by who you associate with.
How do you do that?
Well, you find people that are where you want to be, but they're already there. You're 22 years old, you're 32, you're 41 years old, and there's a guy or a gal who's 45 years old who is where you want to be. They've accomplished a lot of things. If you're into, they're saving the world, they're using their money for good causes, go associate with those people. Be around those people. And they're easy to find, but they're not going to knock on your door. They're not going to come to your apartment or your flat and ask you, oh, can I help you? And again, the best tool I've ever seen, and it's like it was designed for this, is LinkedIn. It's the best social media tool there ever was for what we're discussing. And you can find these people. Now, just remember, everybody that's on LinkedIn, all the, 20 million or whatever people that are on LinkedIn are all there for one reason. They're there because they want to do business, they want to meet people. Unlike some of the other social medias like Facebook or Twitter or, and I don't even know the names of the others, but I mean, LinkedIn, they're there for a common purpose. They have a common bond. They have a common goal. They want to expand their horizons, and it's a great tool.
Would you say it's so easy?
No, it's not. No, I'm not saying it's easy. I'm saying that makes it easier, that tool. But there are other people that want to be all they can be. There are other people that want to expand their horizons. Gallup did a poll in 2016, worldwide, 87.6% of all the people on the planet, 87.6% of all the people on the planet are unhappy. I'm going to say it again because I know these are Dutchmen, right? 87, we'll just round it off. 87% of everybody that walks the face of the earth, 7.65 billion people, are unhappy.
So what went wrong?
Well, I mean,
When is so?
well, if you were born in Biafra, I mean, the odds are against you. But if you were born in the Netherlands, which a lot of you were, rightly or wrongly, you had a better chance, a better opportunity than a poor kid born in Biafra. Okay? What have you done with it? If anything. Most of you, I can just look, I wore my glasses. Normally I like to be filmed without my glasses, but last time I didn't wear my glasses, so I couldn't see your faces. I've got my glasses on now, so I can see your faces. You know what I'm getting at. You have not used the opportunities, whereas the people in the third, fourth, fifth world countries use those opportunities to be all they can be. And money's not everything in the world, but money's the only thing anybody keeps track of. And so you can use that money that you make, as the Gates are doing, in trying to save the earth, to save the world, and to do good. But it all starts, you have to be serious about it. Most of the people that are engaged in personal development, for example, aren't serious. They just, it takes up 3 or 4 or 5 hours of their time a week, And so they're fiddle farting around and they're not taking it serious. If you want to take it serious, Michael is a successful mentee of mine, and you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for he putting on these kinds of events. But he got serious about it a number of years ago, and he's doing a lot of good. How many of you can say the same? How many of you can say that you're serious about it? How many of you can actually say that you're trying to be all you can be? Now, I won't insult you by asking you to raise your hand because you just lied. We all know what the real answer is, don't we? You're not. And so, if you want to be all that you can be, and if you want to be a high-performance person, and you don't have to be, 98% of all the high-performance people on the planet are introverts. I'm going to say it again slow because they're Dutchmen, right? 98% of all the people on the planet that are high-performance are introverts. Elon Musk, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates have something in common. They're introverts, just like you.
What means? Maybe we have to explain this more.
Okay. Introverts meaning that you don't say what you really feel. Introverts is you don't act as if you really wanted to show the person that you don't disagree with them. Introverts are when your parents were telling you shit when you were growing up, you just put your head down and kept your mouth shut. And that's why you're introverted now as adults. As you can plainly see, I wasn't raised that way. My father said if you got something in your mind, it should come out of your lips. If you got something in your mind, it should come out your mouth, Dan. And God knows, I took it to heart, and I've lived that way all my life. At the TED Talk I gave a couple of days ago, which Michael was there to talk to the kids, it was quite interesting when I told them that I've been talking like this since I was a teenager. I've been talking shit since I'm a teenager.
Which is some time ago.
Well, I'll be 74 in a couple months, so it is some time ago. But the point is that I had self-esteem. I didn't know till I got grown up and was an adult that everybody didn't have self-esteem. I didn't understand that. I didn't realize that everybody didn't have self-confidence. I didn't realize that everybody didn't have self-worth. Because the kids that I hung with all were like I was. Because their parents were gave them a good role model. Most of the people that come to people like Michael or any of the gurus out there, and I call him a guru, come to them because you were lacking something in your childhood. In my particular case, a lot of people come to me because I'm the alpha male father they never had. I asked a question a couple of days ago. How many of you can raise your hand, how many of you have kids? Too bad. But anyway, you have kids, okay? Don't raise your hand now. How many of you would like to have your kids grow up just like your parents? You know the answer, don't you? Close to zero. Because they were shitty role models. Now, I'm not going to ask the second question. How many of you would like your kids to grow up and be like you? Allah forbid. God forbid. But being a high-performance person is a full-time job. Michael's only over 20 years. I'm like this when I wake up in the morning to brush my teeth. I'm like this when I brush my teeth before I go to sleep. I'm like this 24/7, 365, and I've been like this for the better part of 50 years. I'm always like this. I'm always pushing the edge of the envelope. And that's why, I'm an overnight success. I've been coaching 25 and a half years. But all of a sudden, I'm popular as hell. But I've been doing this for 50 years. I have the same habits today as I had 50 years ago. The exact same habits. But they're just ingrained in me. They're ingrained in me. And for those of you that have never been around the high-performance people like I just alluded to, the Warren Buffett, Elon Musk, God rest his soul, Steve Jobs, who I happen to have known, they were like this 24/7, 365. It wasn't an act.
So is it a choice?
Correct.
To be tough.
Firm but fair.
What's the fair part? Because I can imagine that most people think you're so tough, so, courageous, but tough. I don't want to be like that.
No, most people don't.
I want to be liked.
Yeah, well, see, you want to fit in. I'm the only speaker that you're ever going to hear that really, with all his heart, doesn't give a shit. If I leave here you liking me, I did something wrong. I fucking did something wrong. I'm not here for you to like me. I'm here as a favor to Michael, my mentee, for 20 years. I'm not here, you know, if you all die today, I don't give a shit. And I mean it. But Steve Jobs didn't give a shit about you either. Warren Buffett doesn't give a shit about you today. Elon Musk doesn't give a shit unless you're going to buy a Tesla car. Don't you understand? Don't you get it? You think Elon Musk wants to fit in? We know the answer is no, right? You want to fit in because you have poor role models at home. Most everybody in this room is a pleaser. You want to be liked? When I read about that people commit suicide because they were unliked on Facebook, it makes me sick to my stomach. How can the world get that fucked up that because of fucking Facebook, people are going to kill themselves? What do we come to? God almighty. Don't you see there's something fundamentally wrong with that? In that regard, the Chinese, they're banning Facebook. But 98% of the high-performance people are introverts. 98% of the high-performance people on the planet want to be liked. 98%. We're talking about, I'm at the cutting edge, the hard edge. He's not at the hard edge. He's someplace in the middle. But being liked doesn't get you a raise when you're working for wherever you're working for. Efficiency, accountability. Most people that come to seminars are there because they weren't held accountable when they were growing up.
Okay, so I hope that is revealing to you. And just the other day, I was watching the social psychologist Jordan Peterson, and he said the best managers are people who doesn't give a shit what you think. So ito yung mga tao na low EQ, they make the best managers. Si Jordan Peterson was talking about EQ, and he said it's a myth. It doesn't exist. How do you measure EQ? And yung minsan yung tinatawag na yung delayed gratification, we have another name for that. It's called prudence. And ni-repackage to call it EQ when you can measure prudence, but you cannot measure EQ. And sabi niya, it doesn't exist, no? People who are very successful in the world are people who doesn't give a shit what your opinion of them is, no? And the politician doesn't give a shit. Mamatay ka man, di ka kilala. You really have to take care of yourself, no? You have to build your own confidence and be successful on your own, no? Because people in your life care about your success, no? Katulad ng mga children mo. When I was holding my eldest son in my hand, no? Doon nagbago ang buhay ko, nagbago ang perspective ko kasi sinabi ko sa sarili ko, hindi ito yung buhay na gusto ko ibigay sa anak ko. And you can say that was the day I grew up. I've been one of the guys, I like to be like, but yung hawak ko na yung anak ko, sabi ko, hindi ito yung buhay na gusto ko sa anak ko. And a voice went into my head and said, ito yung buhay na ginusto mo, a life with no victory and no defeat, a life that is average, no? So you never try to achieve anything, and that is true, okay? Because I'm afraid about the opinion of other people. So I change, no? And when I change, I don't give a shit now what other people think. What is important is what my children think about me, no? Yun ang pinaka-importante. Now, to build real confidence, meron akong dalawang tip lamang, and that is you must learn and understand that we don't know. Marami pa tayong dapat malaman at kainin na kanin, no? On things that we thought we know. Secondly, you must be willing to learn from others who are more advanced than we are. Okay? When I was just an average guy, no, in sales, no, lalo na sa insurance, I never wanted to attain yung mga top qualifier, mga ganon. I mean, okay na ako mag-abroad, no? Makuha yung mga qualification to go abroad kasi nag-enjoy ako doon. Pero to go top 10, sabi ko, hindi ko na kailangan yan. I don't need the attention, sabi ko sa sarili ko. I thought na yung pagiging top is to get attention. Yun lamang ang interest nila, no? But later on, I understand to be the top is not to get an attention, but to show an example to your children. Kasi naisip ko, anong sasabihin ko sa anak ko kung sinabi ko, anak, you have to study hard para you get an honor student, para pag ano mo, mabilis ka makakuha ng trabaho. And then pagtanong ng anak sa akin, ikaw dad, honor student ka ba? Anong sasabihin ko? Average lang eh. So nakakahiya. Paano mo sasabihin sa anak mo maging honor student kung ikaw ay hindi honor student? Tapos sasabihin mo that you work hard so that maging successful ka. Dad, successful ka ba? So hindi ka nagwo-work hard. Okay? So nakakahiya, di ba? So I changed because ayaw ko itanong ng anak ko yung question na yon, no? So that's why I started to go for yung top. I wanted to go to the top because I wanted to show a good example to my children, no? Now, this is a very good chart. Yung kanyang competence lang nasa kaliwa, yung high competence, no? Imbis na nasa sa kanan. Yung horizontal is the competence, tapos yung vertical is the confidence, no? So when you look at this chart, you will see na kapag ikaw ay low competence saka low confidence, you need to be taught. And if you are low confidence pero high competence, you need to be encouraged. Pag ikaw naman ay high competence at high confidence, you need to be challenged. Pero kung ikaw ay high confidence pero low competence, you need to be coached. Ang problem lang sa being coach is you need to be coachable, no? No coach can make you do what you don't want to do, no? So you need to be coachable. Okay, so that is the objective of our group, no? The G2G8 community arc. We are a community of courageous individuals banding together on shared value and living together in harmony and prosperity, even in trying times. Lalo na ngayon, trying times, no? And we wanted to teach people how to overcome trying times with what we call the intangibles. And these intangibles, when we survey people, ano mas importante, no? Maraming pera, may business, o meron intangibles, unanimous sila lahat. The intangibles is more important than the tangible asset, no? Aanhin mo nga yung maraming pera kung wala ka naman lakas ng loob. So aanhin mo yung may business kung wala ka naman creativity and faith, no? To never say die, no? And yung mga attitudes mo hindi maganda and you don't have the skills and the know-how, no? That is what we teach and that is what we coach people to have, no? And how do we build confidence? By teaching and coaching you to start a network marketing business. Meron kaming 4 na video which we explain bakit network marketing. If you haven't watched those video, I would encourage you to go to our YouTube channel or go to the person who invited you para makita yung video, no? Why network marketing was explained in that video. And one of the reasons is because many of the people in network marketing already have the intangibles. Meron silang lakas ng loob. How do you sell something? Some people would think na napakamahal and yet they're able to do it. It's because marami silang intangible assets, no? Meron silang lakas ng loob, meron silang confidence, no? That's why they're able to talk to people, no? So we teach and coach people to start a network marketing business and by putting money into your pocket and building your competence, no? Ang objective namin is to help put money into your pocket, no? So you can do this part-time and as you do that, we build your competence and then coaching you on the intangibles and helping you transition as an entrepreneur. Okay, alam nating pag empleyado tayo, we don't have the entrepreneur mindset. So it will take time, no? So that's why you need coaching. And integrating you into our community and giving you an avenue to teach others also. And telling you the truth even if it hurts. Okay, so like right now, I am telling you the truth and sometimes it hurts, no? And we think na alam na natin on certain subject pero sa totoo lang, konti lang ang alam natin. Okay, now, how can you feel confident immediately? Okay, yung feeling kasi mabilis manipulate. So we will teach you how you can feel confident also, not only how you can have competence, no? But first you have to be humble and teachable Second, you need to be spending time to learn and study, especially yung subject matter na importante sa iyo, especially those that will help you make additional income, no? Thirdly, you need to change your posturing, tonality, and facial expression. You will not be able to feel confident if your body doesn't follow, no? So tuturuan namin kayo, and later on I'll show you a video anong ibig sabihin nito. Then exercising and conditioning your mind and spirit, and we teach that also, and doing instead of thinking. So karamihan ng tao kasi spend a lot of time worrying, thinking without doing anything. To feel confident, you have to do something, no? Now, let's watch this video on power poses to instantly change your mood.
One thing about this technique that's very powerful is that, well, I'm one of these people who, unless it's been scientifically proven, I tend to not believe it. And if you do the research on it, you find it, one, is exhaling is the one that calms you down. But it's also, there's a lot of research that's been done by Harvard University on stress. And stress comes about through a hormone in our body that's released when we feel tension, when we feel anxious, when we've got stress. That's called cortisol. And it's they've done tests by just doing a variety of different things can reduce that test. And I'd recommend you went and had a look on the TED Talks and had a look at Amy Cuddy, and it's called the Power Poses. And they did tests on asking people just to take a power pose for 2 minutes, and they tested them to see what that would do to their cortisol, being the stress hormone, and what it does to their testosterone, which is testosterone is what gives us confidence and there's a power pose. So what they did is they asked people to take a powerful pose, and those poses, I mean, the ultimate one is the victory one, the pride one that you see athletes when they win, the head's tilted up, the arms are out here, and the legs are probably a little bit apart. Or another one is this Wonder Woman, Superwoman. It's anything that takes up space. And again, if you are in situations when you're with people, take space. Don't sort of crouch down. So any of that helps you. And if you have something important to do, go and stand in the bathroom and take your power force for 2 minutes and use the breathing technique. It's just to slow down your breath, breathing through your nose and exhaling, and just relaxing different parts of your body and keeping in this power pose, or this one if you want to, just for 2 minutes, and then go out and have your meeting. The test that they did in Harvard was once they had done that, they then tested people to check the difference. Well, their cortisol went way down and their testosterone went way up. And the reverse is true. So they got people to stand in what they call a low power pose. So anything where you collapse, you're taking a little bit of space, head down, shoulders crouched up, arms across the body, anything that's sort of tight and keeping us little if you want. Any of those had the reverse effect. You hold that for a few minutes and your cortisol goes way up and your testosterone goes down.
Okay, so this is a short patikim, no, on how you can instantly change your mood, no, and yung confidence level. Now, yung medyo long term is you need to develop good habits. Okay, itong good habits na ito, if you can do it every day, every morning, you will start the day with very high energy, no. So one of those good habits is sleeping and waking up early. So kung parati kang puyat, no, that's very bad habit, no. Secondly is getting properly hydrated. Pag gising, kailangan uminom kagad ng tubig because nga 8 hours wala tayong tubig, we are dehydrated. So it's very hard to do or think anything if pag wake up mo hindi ka uminom ng tubig. Thirdly, exercise to condition your body. Yan. Once you exercise, you condition your body, you start to feel good, no? And positive affirmation to condition your mind and emotion. So lahat ng high performance people, they start their day with positive affirmation. Sometimes they spend only 5 minutes, no? Because sanay na sila. Read to feed your soul. So some people read the Bible and some people read self-improvement books, no? So read to feed your soul and give and receive. Yan. It's a good practice to be able to give something, no? You don't have to give money palagi. Sometimes you give attention. Sometimes you give goodwill. Sometimes you give encouragement. Pero if you have a lifestyle of giving, whatever you give, you will receive back, no? Then finally, focus and move towards your goal. Yan. So at the early onset, every day kung may ginagawa ka that is moving you towards your goal, you feel good, you feel confident. Ang problem kasi ngayon, why people are aimless and they don't feel confident is they're wasting their time eh. They wasting their time on TikTok, Netflix, kung ano-anong pinapanood, and they did nothing or wala silang ginagawa that moves them towards their goal. We are open for mentorship if interested. Hindi ko pa masyado ina-announce to, but if people are interested, all you need to do is send us an email sa travelitesam@gmail.com. We'll send you some questionnaires, of course, and have an interview session. And the mentorship will usually last, kung weekly siya, once a week, will last mga 3 months. Pero kung napaka-determine nyo, marami kayong time, and you want to do it every day, it will last siguro mga 1 month. No? And of course, yung first month natin, ang gusto natin mangyari is to put money in your pocket kaagad. Okay, so because once we do that, we know you will not back out of the mentorship, no? So that's why yun ang goal natin. So do you have to spend some money? Just a little bit, yung membership lang. But you don't have to spend it kaagad, no? You can spend it later pag once meron ka ng benta. Pag wala ka pang benta, you don't have to spend it. Okay? So yung mentorship namin, we know that if we are able to help you, we will earn in the process, no? So that's why hindi kami natatakot na baka we will not earn. Kung pangit ang mentorship natin, then of course we will not earn, no? But we're confident that we can teach you to earn. Okay? So hanggang dito na lang yung ating seminar. I hope nabuksan natin ang isip nyo tungkol this topic, no? And many people think they know, but actually they don't know. And if you want to know more about this skill, my intangible skill of interpersonal relation, of direct selling, network marketing, then you can come to us and we will teach you, mentor you. We will just have to agree on the time. Okay? Thank you for attending this afternoon seminar. And we hope we added value to you, no? And have a good to great day.